Africa is facing a COVID-19 third wave as it records thousands of new infections a day. Now, government has been criticized for its slow vaccine rollout, and the country has now received over 1 million vaccines. But joining us to discuss the challenges, the fears, as well as some of the concerns is virology expert Professor Barry Shoup from the Ministerial Advisory Committee, and he joins us from Johannesburg. Prof, good to have you this morning, and good morning to you. That is the question on everybody's lips. Are we facing a third wave, or are we already in it?
Yeah, good morning to you. I think we probably are in it in some provinces. I think the Gauteng province, the metrics here seem to indicate that we are in the third wave. Certainly other provinces such as the Northern Cape and the Free State are definitely in the third wave. Nationally, we're almost there. So if we look at the various kind of metrics by which we define a third wave, yeah, we're almost there nationally.
Yeah, and let's define then a third wave, just so that, because there's still a bit of a hesitancy and an in denialism when it comes to COVID-19. When, as a ministerial advisory committee, when you depict that there's a third wave, what exactly do you look at?
Well, we look at various metrics. For example, we look at the percentage of tests which are positive. Once it reaches, and it varies between about over 10% of the tests which are positive, that would be one metric. We look at a variety of metrics. We look at the percentage increase. If it's over 30% compared to the previous wave, at the same, then that would also define it. So there are about 4 or 5 of these metrics which we look at, which reasonably one can be confident would predict that a third wave is already on us.
Yeah.
So these are really kind of, I think, to some extent arbitrary, but they seem to have kind of worked in the past.
All right, Prof, with that being said, let's talk about, testing as well as, the vaccination rollout program, because that seems to be some of the concerns raised here, the pace with which it's going at this stage, and whether or not we'd, quite frankly, reach, herd immunity with the timeline set. Where are we right now, and are we well on our way?
I think we're on our way. I think that the second phase has started. The feedback that I've got is that it has proceeded quite efficiently and quite well. Of course, it is going to go slow at the beginning, but hopefully it will pick up momentum. So we're now, just over 177, probably close to 180,000 for the first week. That obviously is too slow. We need to kind of get that amount per day, never mind per week. If we're going to reach herd immunity by the beginning of next year, which I think is the general aim.
And what's the plan then to try and expedite this process? Yes, we do know that some of the challenges that you've incurred have been, with registration and technological issues, the slow pace of, some of our senior citizens registering on this system. But any other challenges that you feel that you need to tackle head on with a matter of, urgency and priority, so to expedite this process?
Yeah, I think there are various challenges. Obviously, the one challenge which does hit us is getting it out to the more remote areas, particularly the rural areas, storage of vaccine, distribution of vaccine. I think we need to have many more sites. It would be good if we could have some kind of mass vaccination sites, like have been done overseas, for example, in stadiums and gymnasiums. That kind of planning would need to go into, if we're going to try and get to our couple of 100,000 per day, which we'll need to get to if we're going to immunize the entire adult population.
Yeah, and I suppose before I let you go then, Prof, when it comes to capacity at our, healthcare facilities, is there enough? Because I saw a story just quite recently, actually this morning, focusing on the Western Cape and, some of the measures that they're trying to make there in terms of bed capacity, staff, but as well as oxygen. So with the third wave then looming, is the country prepared?
Well, I think we're certainly far more prepared than before the second wave, and certainly before the first wave. We have learnt a lot of lessons in terms of hospital capacity and various components, like, say, oxygen capacity, ventilators, and so on and so forth. So a lot has been learnt, but whether we are adequately equipped for the third wave, I think time will tell. I feel that a lot has been learnt. A lot of knowledge has been gained, and we can capitalize on what we've experienced in the previous waves.
Absolutely. We leave it there. Professor Barry Shoup, thank you for your time and talking to me this morning.